In a world of so much negativity, where things are constantly pulling you down, the Word of God can build you up. Get inspired with Isabella Pina.
Hello, I'm Isabella, and welcome to Get Inspired. Last week we talked about you being an extraordinary person. And guess what? This week we're going to talk about you being blessed to be a blessing. We're going to start off with Genesis 12, 1-3. Now the Lord said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. In thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. What a blessing. The Bible teaches that we should use our blessing to bless others. God decided to bless Abraham. This was God's idea. It was not because Abraham earned it or Abraham deserved it or Abraham worked so hard to get it. No, the blessing came to him by God's grace. But why? Why did God choose to bless Abraham? So he could be a blessing to others. He could be a blessing to the entire world so that all the families of the earth would be blessed through Abraham. The blessing was not just for Abraham and Sarah, but for the entire world. For all of us, we are still being blessed from Abraham's blessing. We are blessed to be a blessing. The purpose of this blessing is so we can be a blessing to others. I really need you to understand that. But to focus on others, you need to do two things. You need to acknowledge the blessing, and you need to focus on being a blessing. You have to know you are blessed in order to minister from that area of your life. Your marriage needs to be blessed to be able to minister from an area in marriage. You need to be blessed in the area of love to be able to minister from that area. Your finances need to be blessed to be able to minister from that area. For example, if somebody comes to you and say, I need you to help me with my rent. I don't have enough money this month to pay my rent and I need some help with my rent. You should be able, if you are blessed in your finances, to pull out your checkbook and write a check for that person and say, you know what? I will pay your rent not only for this month, but probably for next month to help you to get on your feet. Instead of sending that person to the church and say, you know what? I need you to go before the church and explain to them what's going on with you and have the church pay for it. You should be able to stand up as a people and pay that person rent. That is being blessed in your finances. You should be able to minister to people from your overflow in your finances in that manner. God blesses you with everything that you have, and his intention is for us to bless others. It's not for us to hoard it, or it's not for us to sit there and make ourselves look good or feel comfortable, but it's for us to bless others. But we can't if we fail to operate in our overflow. God does not bless us just so we could feel good or to be happy. God blesses us so we could bless others. Keep that in your mind. He blesses us so we could bless others. It's not just for our own selfish reasons. The blessing comes to you so it can flow through you. Let the blessing of the Lord flow outwardly. Not just let it stay with you, but let it flow outwardly. Let it flow in every areas of your life. Try to make it flow in every area of your life. The blessing is always going to be too much for just you. We serve a God of too much. God is too big just to focus on you. He may use you to bless other people, but he's not just going to focus on you. When he uses you to bless other people, he's not just focusing on you. He's focusing on you and all the lives that you're going to touch with that blessing that he's about to bless you with. God expects us to bless others. When we do, God takes care of our needs, wants, and desires. We're not going to need for anything. We're not going to desire for anything when God blesses us. When we use our blessing to bless other people. We cannot and we will never be able to surpass God when it comes to blessing us. There is nothing God will not do for you if you truly and really wants to help other people. Because why? You cannot ever beat God given. Sow your seed in faith. Your harvest is guaranteed with God. Let me give you an example. In Luke 18, 29 and 30. And he, meaning Jesus, said unto them, Verily I say unto you, there is no man that have left house or parents, or brethren, or wife, or children for the kingdom of God's sake, who shall not receive manifold more in this present time, and in the world to come, life everlasting. He's talking about you receiving manifold more in this present time. Not you have mansions built in heaven for you somewhere. No, you're receiving it right now in this present time. You're going to be blessed right now. And in the world to come, you're going to have life everlasting. I don't know about you, but I want God to handle or to be in control of all my blessings because He's much more better than it than we are. You can never outgive God. For example, I will just use my little testimony to tell you. I grew up really poor because I grew up in a third world country. I grew up with my grandmother, and we didn't have much. We grew up on basically living off what we grow. We had no money. There was no paycheck coming in. There was no government assistance. None of that stuff. We live in a little hut, all of us in the same little hut, about the size of my kitchen. So I grew up to be really thrifty, holding on to every penny and every dime that I make. I remember saving up almost all my paycheck, like my first year in the military, trying to save up all my paycheck, barely trying to use anything out of there because I wanted to make sure that I never run out another day in my life. So I went on and get married to my husband. The same mentality flowed into my marriage, and I hold on to every penny that we had, and we live like that, just focusing on us. We wanted enough, and we was afraid of running out. So we would barely spend our money on anything. We would just hold on to our money to make sure that we will never be able to run out. And it's not just that, we did not focus ourselves onto who our source was. And I guess we did not realize at the time that our source was God and that He never run out. We just consider that what we put in our bank account was our source, and that if we keep putting it in there, that it was not going to run out. So we were tithers, we tithe every month. My husband was a tither before I met him. I was a tither before we got married, and we tithe. We love God. My husband was actually a preacher, and we love God, but we just only focus on us having enough to take care of us and our family. And because of that, we were broke. It was not until we started focusing on being a blessing to others, when people would come to us and ask us for something, ask us for help, and we started realizing that we have to help other people. We have to start focusing on helping other people and not just ourselves. And we started giving other people. And that's when we open up our heart and say, God, we will be a blessing to other people. And that's when God started to pour blessings into us, and He started to pour into us to allow us to bless other people. And that's how we became a blessing. And sometimes, we sit around and we say that, it sounds so spiritual for us to say, Lord, you don't have to bless me with a lot. You could just give me just enough. I only want enough for me and my family, just enough to take us through, just enough to take us by. You could bless other people, but you don't have to bless us with that much. Yeah, it may sound humble to say that. I don't want more, just enough for me and my family. But that's actually not humble. That's being selfish. Because God could actually use you to bless somebody else, but you're telling Him you just want enough just for you and your family. That's being selfish. Because you are not focused on anyone else, but you just focus on yourself. That's what being selfish is all about. But when me and my husband realized how selfish that was, and we decided to open up our heart to God and tell God, you know what? We need to stop being selfish, and we need to focus on other people and helping other people. We opened up our heart and started blessing other people. God started blessing us, and the overflow came, and we started to bless other people. God started giving us more than enough, more than what we need. And we started asking God that, tell God that we will be the conduit that you could use to bless other people. Use us to bless the church. Use us to bless people all over the world. And God started using that. Now our focus is on helping others, and God keeps blessing us. God is your source. Do not make the mistake that we did and believe that we could work for everything and we have everything. And if we put it in the bank is our source. The bank is not your source. God is your source. And your source, if God is your source, there is no shortage, and God never runs out. You may look at your bank account and you may see that you may not have enough money to pay your rent this month. But remember that bank account is not your source. God is your source. You might be saying, Isabella, maybe God has promised blessings, but I am not experiencing them. Instead of promises, all I have is problems. My question to you is, what are you focused on? Are you still focused on yourself, or are you focused on helping other people? Because you are blessed to be a blessing. Don't worry what the situation around you look like right now. Stop focusing on your situation and focus on who your source is. God is your source, and focus on Him, because in an instant He could change the entire situation around you. He owns the money, He owns the land, He owns the houses. So in a situation, in a split second, all of that could change. The more you bless others, the more God blesses you. Ask God to bless you to be a blessing to others, and you will see your situation change right before your eyes. When you shift the focus from you to others, God blesses you with His best. He releases His best into your life. Let's look at something Jesus said in Luke. Luke 6:38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that He mete withal, it shall be measured to you again. Now I'll read that same verse from the easy to read Bible. Luke 6:38. Give to others, and you will receive. You will be given much. It shall be poured into your hands, more than you can hold. You will be given so much that it will spill into your lap. The way you give to others is the way God will give to you. So the more you give to others, the more God is going to give to you. But if you try to hold it back, He's not going to give you that much because you're greedy trying to hold it back. But if as much as He gives you, if you give it to others, He gives you much. He gives you, you give. He gives you, you give. And He's going to continuously giving you. So my message to you is simple. God can bless you to be a blessing. But you cannot just focus on you, because it's not about you. He uses you to bless other people because He needs a vehicle on this earth to do the blessing. So stop focusing on yourself and spend time focusing on other people. You may not have, but there's somebody who probably have less than you do. And God is trying to use you to bless that person that have less than you do, but you're so focused on yourself that you can't see it. He's trying to bless you, and in return bless that other person, but you're not seeing that right now because you're so focused about yourself. My life changed when I focused on being a blessing. The way that I live, everything about me changed when I stopped focusing on myself and my family, and I started to be a blessing to somebody else. When I opened up my heart and I said, God, use me to bless other people, to bless everybody. Whoever you need me to bless, just use me to bless those people. My entire life changed when I did that. So I'm telling you today, get inspired to be a blessing to others. Get inspired to let God use you. Get inspired to leave a mark in this world that will never be erased. Aspire to be inspired by God to change the world. You are blessed to be a blessing. Now say, I believe, I receive. Be blessed. And I will see you next week.